are listening to Lucha Underground.
Hey everybody, welcome to Lucha Afterground, the premier Lucha Underground after show.
Cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop on the internet. My name is Max.
I am Travis.
And joining us, Kevin is back in the hospital from his head injury.
Post-concussion syndrome.
It's serious. It's a real thing. I understand why the wrestling industry is so scared about it now that we have a friend who has it.
Yeah.
He hasn't been medically cleared.
Yeah, and that's right. And he keeps saying he's going to show up at that show on April 9th and cause some shit. People are like, no, Kevin, you have to get better. He's very upset.
Sir, you're still in your hospital gown.
It could be crazy.
And it's not tied up properly.
So Kevin isn't here, but we have a special guest, Kelly Nelson.
And it's a pleasure to be here.
Kelly, longtime listeners of the show will know that we don't give a fuck about other internet podcasts. But,
Really?
However,
you have a very successful podcast, and really happy that you're here to join us. If we don't plug it now, we'll probably forget.
tell us. So we got Titans of Wrestling. That's your anchor. What did I say?
That was the original.
Yeah.
With Par, Pete, and Johnny. Par's from England. Johnny and Peter from the States. And it's cool. We talk about old wrestling, very old wrestling.
How old?
Early 80s now.
Early 80s.
Yeah, we go in.
You started in the late 70s.
Yeah, we started in the late 70s, and we've gone further back.
Who are some wrestlers who are wrestling around that time?
Bruno Sammartino.
Oh, geez.
The living legend.
Nice. I watched they have Bruno Sammartino versus Antonio Inoki on the New Japan World. Super old.
Yeah.
I've been going through a lot of Antonio Inoki lately.
Yeah.
It's doing one after another is a little much.
Yeah.
I have to say.
But Inoki's not for everybody, too.
There's a match where he fights Tiger
Mask?
No, Jaspreet. It's a Indian name.
Oh, Tiger Jeet Singh.
Yes. And they call the match because they're afraid Antonio Inoki's going to tear his arm off. All the locker room has to come out. The locker room comes out in what is this? When does this guy wrestle?
That would have been in the 70s. They feuded for a long time.
Oh my god.
Jeet Singh wrestled into the 90s.
Yeah.
Wow.
He comes out with a huge sword in his mouth.
Yeah.
And he's walking through the crowd so dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah. He was Canadian, too.
So guys, well, this has been a lot of fun already, but we got business to get into. And that is, tonight was Aztec Warfare. Typically, yeah, Aztec Warfare 2. I guess that's true. Is it going to be Aztec Warfare 2 or Aztec Warrior 2016?
Warrior. 2016 Warfare.
Warfare.
We started that the last 3 weeks, me and you, buddy.
Is it going to be
No, it said 2. It said 2 on all their ads for it and stuff.
Yeah.
So
okay.
it's going to be like a...
cool.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Mania.
So a lot to go through.
Yeah.
Overall, I mean, Trav, how many stars are you going to give?
Already? Want me to tell you?
Yeah, I do.
4.5.
Snowflakes.
4.5.
4.5.
It was a blast. It was, I think, better than the last one. Still had a couple issues, but overall, the stories they wanted to get across were done in well ways, and they've started planted new seeds for the future.
That's interesting you said that, because I feel like they did utilize all the stories. All the stories they've told at this point were definitely present, but what are the new stories? Because that's what I wasn't sure about coming out of it. I was like, what are the new stories?
Pentagon and Mil Muertes is your big new feud.
So it launched them into Pentagon, Mil Muertes. What are any other new ones?
Well, you've got what is new.
The Argenis Mascara Sagrada feud. It's gonna be huge.
That got hot.
That is going to be huge.
That's going to be.
Also, okay. But I don't know.
Why don't we just start? Why don't we just start from the beginning and we'll go through this? Let's go through this.
No way.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
The characters who that did not participate.
Bengala.
Okay? Bengala.
I told you. I don't think he's in their good books because he was overweight when he was way heavier than he was last season, and so they made him job to Cobra Moon. That's all he's done.
Yes, so far he's only had one match so far.
So and then he doesn't show up. So I don't think he's in their.
But neither did Sexy Star.
Yeah.
No Sexy Star. No Cobra Moon.
Yeah. I was interested in seeing Cobra Moon.
No.
You guys talked about it.
Jeez.
There you go.
Interesting, but not here.
And also the crew. The crew not in there.
Well, okay. So there was a YouTube only match before this.
Yes. No Killshot.
Yeah, well, yeah. So Killshot and Joey Ryan, and who was the third one? It might have been Cortez or Reyes. Yeah, I think those were the three.
And then
Joey Ryan won.
Joey Ryan won that match.
Yeah. I didn't get to see it. It's not available in Canada. I mean, there might be a way to find it, but it's Lucha El Rey's YouTube channel.
And they don't make that available to view in Canada?
Neat.
What the hell are they doing?
It's probably because they can't sell ads. That's my guess.
Nobody that far north would care about Lucha.
Okay.
Okay, and no, I'm sorry. I can't get over the roster that wasn't present.
Okay.
We also didn't have Son of Havoc. We didn't have Evil East. We didn't have Angelico.
None of the trios.
Disciples of Death. I mean, I think they're dead.
They're dead.
But they were potential combatants as well.
Yeah.
And no Pentagon Jr. No Pentagon Jr.
But that made sense with the story they had been telling. No Scarletta Pimpernello.
Yeah.
I was hoping.
I was disappointed.
Man. I was hoping. Fuck.
Yeah, so is that it? Can you remember anybody else?
That wasn't present? No, I think all our heavy hitters are there, even from last year. Like, Arhannis. Like, anyways, I don't know. I was just surprised. It made me realize how deep of a roster they have, that they didn't need those guys. Because there were...
Okay, wait a second. Was Arhannis, am I saying it right?
Arhannis.
Did he have his arm broken by Pentagon Jr.?
He did.
Okay, so apparently the Disciples of Death were all of the three guys who had their arms broken by Pentagon Jr.
Well, no.
No?
Because Arhannis is there.
Well, did you ever see Arhannis in the same room as a Disciple of Death?
Oh, okay. I see what you're
So, okay, who are the other guys then?
I don't mean storyline wise. It's like, I'm free. I've been freed from the clutches of death.
You don't think so?
No,
That's what I'm buying into.
No. I think they're workers there, and this is their story they had for them. Okay, you're going to start off as this guy, then you're going to have your arm broken, and we're going to use you as a disciple.
Oh,
of
you
death.
think that they were the wrestlers in there?
Yes, that's who I'm saying.
Oh,
That's
I
what I'm
see.
saying. Okay.
I see. Okay. I like it, the idea that... Because, no, it makes sense in the story that it was them.
Yeah,
because they had their arms broken. They became disciples of death. And then when Muertes, quote-unquote, killed the disciples of death, then suddenly they start wrestling
They come
again.
back to life.
And they don't have to make a big deal
All
out
their
of it.
family are like, where have you been?
That's right. That's right. I don't want to talk about it.
And he's not like, I don't know.
That's how you do your job.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Are you ready?
Go for it.
Going to this first segment. Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix are backstage. Really dark. I was talking to Kelly on the way here. Really sexy, warm color palette for this scene. Like,
oh, yeah.
The lights are really smeared. This kind of magenta
Yeah, I
and
love that.
Black.
Totally. Yeah.
Really cool skull effect on Katrina's face there on the thing.
Very like Alfred Hitchcock Psycho.
Yeah.
You know that one?
Yeah, at the very end. Yeah. No Pentagon Jr. in Aztec Warfare, we learned here. He says, I only listen to my master.
I was stunned. I was like, but it makes sense.
Who does the invites for Aztec Warfare?
Well,
Katrina.
at this time, she was, she had been in charge up until this point. Yeah. Okay.
Do you guys think that Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix, because they're brothers in real life, do you think they will ever be woven into the narrative?
I think if I don't think it's in their plans. Actually, they must have a kind of a 3-season plan that they've got mapped out. And I think maybe somewhere down the line when they've run out of ideas, they might. But I don't think that's part of their.
Yeah, it was just a happy coincidence.
Yep.
It's never been teased or anything.
No.
Sorry. Okay, so that was my thought about that. But then it becomes.
We enter the temple.
Yeah.
Aztec drums are playing.
That was
ceremonial dances.
Yeah.
Great mood.
Great atmosphere.
Yeah. That little kid on the playing the log did not seem like she knew what she was doing.
But it looked. That might be screamingly offensive. I don't know.
It probably is. It's still great.
Yeah, but it could be the way when you see an older guy with a young little kid there. That made it feel kind of genuine for me. Like that's like, all right, I'll do this, but you have to let me bring my granddaughter.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
so they could have asked somebody who's got like this legit, and it's not just like somebody pretending.
Do you think that is real? Like Aztec dance? Does such a thing exist?
Why not?
Yeah, I guess not.
Just because it's such an ancient civilization.
Yeah, like how do they do we know the ancient Egyptian dances?
Well, if you ask Miss Susanna Hoffs of the Bengals, you know precisely.
It just gave a great atmosphere.
Gracias.
Yeah.
You know, it made it feel like a big deal was about to happen, and I love that atmosphere.
Yeah, it was really cool, really unique.
Yeah, it was wicked.
Then we learn that right away Stryker invites us in, and we learn that there was no invite from Pentagon, and he asks Vampiro what he thinks about it, and he says, "Man, that is straight up whack."
But it is what it is.
He's he's right back into being nerdy vamp again.
I love it. It's so funny. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's so bad. He's good.
Oh, God. Yeah. All right.
And we see the lovely Melissa Santos. Her only part, she introduces Phoenix. And we see Famous B and Brenda at
Oh, my
ringside.
God. I know. What is
awesome.
that leading towards? I guess that's another new storyline that
Yep.
they're really deciding. Okay, here we go.
Yep.
From here, so we got
You know
Pentagon versus. I just want to keep a tally of the Launchpad feuds here.
Okay.
It's Pentagon versus Mill, and what's ever going to happen with Famous B.
And-
Both of these got launched. At this
Well,
point,
and
actually.
the Drago and Aerostar against PJ Black and Jack Evans.
In ring. Well, no, that they've been wrestling for a while.
But not again like 2 against 2. The only thing they had before this was their nunchuck battle.
Yeah, because
Epic nunchuck battle.
should be in the Museum of Modern Art.
Yeah, it's up there. So then finally, this is Melissa's only part of the show, and you can tell that she is psyched to say from San Diego, California,
Yeah.
and she's like waits for a second. You see her kind of look like she's like, wait till you guys hear this, and it's so cool to hear her say Rey Mysterio Jr.
Yeah.
That was so awesome.
That crowd was
Explosion.
bananas.
Yeah, huge pop.
Huge.
So they probably had no idea, right?
No.
Yeah.
Probably not, right?
probably had an
Well,
idea.
still though,
We-
his first appearance is going to.
And you don't think he's going to come out at number 2.
Yeah.
He comes out at number 2. You're like,
He's
oh
been
my
with the
God.
WWE for over 10 years, right? Like 12 years.
Yeah.
Here he is.
So I don't really actually know anything about Rey Mysterio. Junior or not Junior?
Yes, Junior.
It is a junior,
Yeah,
right?
it was Junior originally, and actually he's the nephew of the first Rey Mysterio.
Oh, yeah?
the son. Yeah, and he started when he was 14. He was a sensation right away in AAA in the 90s.
And then
And they dropped the Junior. I can't even remember if he had it when he came to WWE. I think he did at the beginning.
it was
but
at
they
WCW first, right?
Yeah, for quite a long time.
Yeah.
5 years or so.
And some really great matches with Eddie there, right?
Yeah, one at Halloween Havoc in '97 that a lot of people love.
Did you ever have the heavyweight champion of the world?
Not in
WCW.
WCW.
Not in WCW. No.
In WWE? Yeah.
Yes, a
He
couple
did,
times.
yeah.
The
Couple
first
times.
time he
That's
was treated as a total joke after he won it, though. He lost like every match.
Really?
in a bunch of non-title bouts, and then he finally just lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, he's one of the best wrestlers of the last 20 years.
For sure.
Cool.
For sure.
So it's a big
Easily.
deal.
Huge deal.
Yeah, if Lucha Libre had a soul.
Yeah.
If Lucha Libre had a
Yeah.
heart.
And he's been christened the king of Lucha Libre.
The crowd seemed genuinely in awe, man. It was really, really cool.
Oh, totally.
And then when the bell rang, this awesome, dope handshake
Yeah.
and like
Whisper?
head hug.
Yeah. Well, that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real, man. It's real.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
How sick is Phoenix's new gear?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Him and Drago, I swear to God, they go to the same person. Yeah. Because there was like a weird shimmer kind of pattern to that was so unique. And Drago's had it too, man. I'm telling you. Anyways, definitely check that out. So Mysterio comes out. They got that sick moment. They start going at it.
These two. I thought it was a great choice to start with these two guys.
Oh, totally. And in a respectful clash too. Not your typical heel versus babyface clash. It was cool.
Yeah. Went out some great flips back and forth into 619 attempt number 1.
Oh, yeah.
He misses. And then number 3, the countdown is on, and then comes King Cuerno.
King Cuerno. King Cuerno was my dark horse for this.
I
wanted
know.
him to come out on top because he was so predominant in the first few episodes, and then he disappeared. I thought it'd be an awesome swerve to have him win.
Yeah.
And as we know, I was right. So, hey, congrats to King Cuerno, the new Lucha Underground heavyweight champion.
Oh, yeah.
But no,
Yeah,
but
but-
it was cool to see him again. It's like he just, he's good. He's
Yeah,
really good.
he's climbing your ladder. I think. Is he your guy? Is he your number 1?
I just want.
Oh, you love Drago. You love Drago.
I like him a lot
Drago.
too.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah.
That tope he had in this match was awesome.
When
What
was
is the tope?
It's otherwise
arrow?
known as a suicide dive.
Oh
where
yeah,
he
that's
jumps
it.
through the
That's
ropes.
when they call it the arrow. Right?
It was
push.
It looked,
one of the better ones I've
yeah,
ever
it looked
seen.
deadly, and from
Yeah.
that camera angle, it was great. I've never
Yeah,
seen it. From
that was a
like,
great
getting-
angle for it too.
Yeah, yeah. So he had that great. That was really his moment.
It was.
That was it.
Show up, get your move off, tangle guys up in the corners, and then later on,
I think Ray might pin him.
Submitted him.
Ray did,
he was
yeah.
the number
The
2 guy
arm bar,
eliminated.
that's
Yeah,
right.
to an armbar.
Yeah.
So after Cuerno comes out, we get our heinous.
Heinous.
Heinous, our heinous.
Well, apparently he was around before. I couldn't remember him.
Yeah. He was around the first season.
Yep.
Yeah, he tried that weird ass kick for Ray and then went for a pin right away. I'm like, oh, the stones on this kick. And then the 619 attempt number 2 hits, and he hits a frog splash for the count of 1, 2, 3, and chance of Eddie. It was awesome. And then Phoenix hits a corkscrew while the countdown is going on to the next one. And here's where you first saw the scene of Blair just packing, or the first instance of where you saw that they were just packing too much in. And at times we see when it works, and at times it doesn't work. Because it was just like nonstop.
Yeah.
And
It was a little, yeah.
There's a lot of stories going on.
yeah, and then number 5, Johnny Mundo shows up, and an ad comes on, so it's finally just a chance to let us like catch our breath.
Yeah, of course.
But it's good that when it came back from the ad, it wasn't like 2 minutes later. It was like he's still at the top of the thing, so that's nice. So nice to see Johnny Mundo and Ray face to face to start. That was cool.
Yep, throwback.
I love Mundo, man.
Yeah, me too.
I love Mundo.
Me too.
Comes out, takes off his sunglasses, and whips him in the crowd. Fuck yeah, man. That's great.
So we had Johnny Mundo and Phoenix with some nice spots, and do a bunch of cradles and reversals again and again on top of each other. Like all those cradles, or I might be off. Different small packages, or those kind of things. And then Joey Ryan, number 6.
Yeah. Marches out and handcuffs himself to the rail.
Yeah. There was one good quote here. One of the guys said, "He's the coal sore on the lip of Lucha Underground." It's just
That just made me pop the mic. It's so funny.
Yeah, I love him. I've never seen him before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But you've seen
I've probably seen him.
His stuff's gone viral, right? He's the guy that, like the
throws
cock
the guy with his
flip.
dick.
You haven't seen? Oh my god!
Probably not, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's awesome. I loved how he just handcuffs himself to the rail.
Yeah, he's got a great look. He's got a really
yeah,
good
yeah,
look.
Totally.
yeah.
And did you know this? He's an undercover cop.
No idea.
Yeah, that's like we've learned it.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah, so that's what we've learned about him, but the audience there doesn't know that.
No.
Right? So it's another
Right.
weird, that cool dynamic
That's
that
cool.
you don't have anywhere else.
Yeah, you wouldn't guess he was a cop.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's far too sleazy.
So he handcuffs himself, and then
Famous
and we
B is
mentioned
very audible.
Famous B is there.
Yeah, very
so Famous
audible.
B is going to come out of this, and he's gonna be managing. He's becoming a manager.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
isn't
Right.
he not becoming a manager?
gonna make somebody famous.
He's going to make somebody famous. So who's going to sign up with
I
Famous
think
B?
we find out later.
Oh my god!
I think
so?
the guy he seemed to be most over for. I'll tell you when it comes.
All right.
Because he mentioned, like, he said, that's a smart pro wrestler. That's what we were saying. Something
Yeah, that
like
was Joey Ryan.
Oh, he's talking about Joey Ryan. So he talked about him,
yeah.
but there's somebody who it seems like he's kind of convinced is his new guy. I'll tell you when it gets to it.
Wait.
good.
I'm looking. I'm gonna guess. That's a smart wrestler. Jack Evans.
No. 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 They could just, you'll see.
Chavo.
No. No.
Okay.
His gold card looked awesome. I wonder, they should sell those. We're building the Lucha Underground. We are making you millions of dollars. We've already recommended Cisco's tube socks, Tejano's lengths of rope, and now there's the gold business cards from Famous B.
That's how you do your job.
Speaking of that quote, next competitor in is Jack Evans.
No, number 7
No?
is Prince Puma.
Oh snaps! How could I forget?
Yep. Bounced off into a running RKO, which looked really cool. He had a really great backflip to the outside, and Cuerno had a nice counter move on him. So he came in and is like, House of Fire, like he is. Yep.
Puma, man, I'm having a hard time with Puma's character lately. And I feel the same way about Ricochet as a wrestler, where it is like, I want to cheer for you so badly, but he's got a smarmy, like, at times he just crosses the line a little bit in a weird way. In this, Puma comes in, he does some flips, he does some incredible things, and then somebody else takes the focus for a minute, and they quickly just cut over to him walking up to Joey Ryan, who is essentially defenseless, and punching him in the head.
Yeah.
Why did they do that? Like, that makes me like, am I just
is a
so
weird
wrong
choice.
about Puma's character? Like, I thought Puma was.
Yeah, the moral code is weird in the temple, is it?
And he was mentored by Conan,
Yeah, that's right.
who was, he would do anything.
Oh, that's right. Ooh, I hope we're not going to see a Puma descent. That would be.
So he's got to be kind of at the back of your mind. There's that tie.
I guess so. So now we get Jack Evans.
Yes. Yeah.
And then we see, right as he's coming in, Cuerno submits to Ray's armbar. Ray hits an armbar, so Cuerno's out of their lickety split.
Okay, cool.
And you're starting to see why I was talking beforehand. That apparently King Cuerno is not happy at Lucha Underground, or the whoever he is, and not happy with the way he had been booked. And this looks like, I wouldn't be happy with that either, especially if because he was like in those. I bet you he worked more matches in the previous episodes of this series than anybody.
Yeah. But we don't know what's to come either, and he would have a good idea at the beginning.
He didn't come
So it's
out.
not like-
He did not come out looking stronger at the end of Aztec Warfare.
At the end of Aztec Warfare, yeah.
No.
That's true. Well, what would you do, Trav, to make him look stronger? Let's say he's like, Trav, you're like, okay, I promise. I'll do whatever I can. I'll rearrange things to make you look stronger. King Cuerno. What do you do?
So put him on a hunt, like make someone like specific, like a hunt who's like a big name, and let him bring down that
Blood feud with that person.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then that could even like launch a feud from there. Yeah, maybe a Cuerno.
Cage would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be
I'd
cool.
like to see that. I'd like to see him take down Cage.
Yeah, in a feud.
that'd
I
be
like
fun.
Cage
Yeah.
less and less the more I watch him.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's too bad. I go ups and downs with Cage.
Yeah,
Remember
I
when
know.
he first came out, I hated him, but for like
Yeah.
kayfabe reasons. I'm like, oh, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
You tore the belt in half. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You're taking us backwards, man.
Yeah.
And, but the more he was around, the more I was just like so impressed with what he was doing in the ring.
I like
oh
him
my
because he
God.
fits in as the perfect foil in
Yeah.
the Lucha Underground atmosphere.
Totally. Exactly. But foil, and you would think that he was a bad guy, right? And but they appear to have turned him.
Yeah.
Because he's an ass kicker, and if you just keep kicking ass, the fans are gonna start cheering for you, like the Road Warriors, Goldberg, and when you're presented with that kind of persona as a winner,
Yeah.
fans like to rally behind that, even if you're a heel.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
So then we get Phoenix and Ray working together, and then the three of them, Phoenix, Ray, and Puma, are there. So Mundo and Jack Evans are kind of bro down on the outside. Hey man, we got wait, let's see who's coming up next. And then number 9, Taya.
Yeah.
I'd never seen her before.
Yeah.
She's Canadian too.
From Victoria, BC.
Oh, really? I did not know that. I loved her Bruiser Brody heavy boots, woolly boots.
Yeah.
I like Taya. These guys, Trav and Kev are not big fans.
I'm just my concern is that I think why she's become over, and I haven't seen enough of her work. I think that she's become over in AAA or wherever she is right now is for taking nasty bumps.
Violence!
So
People want violence.
yeah.
Violence!
But I don't know. I just can't encourage that kind of behavior. So every wrestler takes a dance partner, and then they're all kind of working. And then Cage is number 10. And he comes up and beats up everybody in no cells. He's the opposite of Jack Evans. Jack Evans oversells.
Bump machine.
In a great way. I love the way Jack Evans oversells. I noticed at this moment, like you could kind of see when Taya was flying around. I was like, of course, Taya has a tramp stamp. That did not surprise me.
Adds to her charm.
And and so he's here's your beloved Cage is about to.
My beloved Cage. What did I do?
I'm talking that you believers. This is what you want. No. He starts beating on her, and Mundo comes in and interferes and throws him through the window.
Yeah, I love that.
Awesome.
And then we get a couple shits from. It always seems that something crazy happens. That's when. We get the S bombs from Striker and Vamp.
Yeah.
What were they swearing too?
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At that
notice.
moment.
Everybody said shit.
Oh shit! Holy shit!
I can't believe
Now's our chance.
That's funny.
They've got the Joseph in their ears, like no, twice. And so here we go, number 11, Mascara Sagrada.
Oh yeah, so glad to see him back, man.
And he comes in and he flips Phoenix, and then he gets love from Famous B, and that's this is who I think Famous B is gonna make famous.
Oh my god,
Really?
that would be incredible.
Because the longer it goes, the more he says like this. I like this guy. Like he starts to really get behind him.
Turns him
Oh my
heel.
god, that would be outrageous, man. Okay, so anyways, moving on. So Mascara Sagrada comes out, he rips it up.
Flips Phoenix around. Cages emerges to kick some ass and hits the Weapon X on Johnny Mundo on the floor, throws him in, and Puna hits his pin and eliminates Johnny Mundo. Next, we have Marty the Moth.
Man, I couldn't care less. Care less.
Yeah, I can't stand him. But we did see some good meat hooks.
I had never seen him before.
Yeah, what did you think?
either.
What was your impression?
I mean, okay as far as what I saw. I mean, nothing offensive. But you guys have seen him all season. This is the first episode I've seen of this season.
No, they just haven't. He's in the middle of this weird storyline where he's like kidnapped another wrestler.
Oh,
It's
okay,
just-
yeah.
It all is not working for me, man.
Yeah. No, that sounded bad. For sure.
Yeah. And then he starts beating up on Sagrada to get that good cheap heat. And he no-sells the Inseguri. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
From Jack Evans. And it really slowed the pace when he showed up, which I think was not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because it was just like Looney Tunes for a while there.
Yeah.
And it worked. It was good to slow it down for our next entrant.
That's right.
Number 13.
It's Drago.
Drago the White.
Oh my god.
I want to read the quote from Kevin. What he said. You say your thoughts while I find it.
I was just gonna say that when I first saw it, I popped the first time because I thought he was back in his classic blues, and then I popped the second time when I realized they were an all new like blue and white shimmery combo. I'm like, oh, Drago's got the best gear in the game.
Kevin wrote us, Max, did you come when you saw Drago's new gear?
He was
Question mark. And then we get the ad for go to commercial. We get to see Johnny Mundo doing a spider walk, which is pretty cool. I think I could pull off the first half of that until he starts going up the wall. That's a part I couldn't do. Good for punching the wall in the face. Well, like he's moving towards the wall and then catches it, and it's like, watch out. Like,
oh my god.
Yeah, nuts.
Are those? Somebody online has this theory that those exercise ads are the same, are in the same sort of like ad category as like the famous bee ads. Like they're not real.
Not real.
They're legit. Those are real. The scorpion push-up is a real thing. I've seen.
I'm sure they're real. But like, what are they? Have you
What
seen
is it?
He's not selling anything.
Advertising?
He's not selling anything.
Yeah.
You're right. He's just like, in a way, it's like...
It's just an ongoing vignette for Johnny Mundo.
or
Is it to make you hate Johnny Mundo?
Vignette / PSA, because it
should
almost
be.
seems like he's kind of out of character.
Nobody can
I
do
haven't
those
seen it,
moves.
so I don't know, man.
I guess so.
Nobody can do those moves.
I did those
It
three
makes you
that
hate
one time.
Johnny Mundo.
Yeah.
I think it's just to make you hate him.
And you're supposed to, so yeah, it's
Okay,
working.
okay.
Don't think too much.
All
Don't
right,
think too
all right.
deep.
Those just thinking of those scorpion push-ups make my like obliques hurt.
So we come back. Jack Evans hits a nice high spot landing on his feet to the outside. And it just becomes super chaotic. Marty the Moth is eliminated, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was pinned by Ray and Sagrada.
And Sagarita in a really cool little flip over.
Who was that?
Ray, he eliminated Marty the Moth. It was Rey Mysterio and Sagarita.
okay.
Hit that
and
flip
Ray
over
and
top.
Sagrada.
I laughed out loud at that. I don't know how anybody watching, if you've never watched wrestling, if you saw that part, everyone would laugh out loud at that.
Yeah.
Okay,
It was perfectly timed. Too.
How old do you think Mascarita Sagrada is?
Late 30s.
I'm gonna guess he's like some kind of lucha legend, and he's 45.
8. No, I'm just kidding. Jeez, he's really, no,
Gracias.
he is 51 years old.
I was way off. 51.
Isn't that hilarious?
Oh my
I
god!
don't know why that's so crazy.
How long has he been wrestling?
I know. And he's still giving.
Yeah,
Wow.
guys in Mexico can go to almost 60
How old
quite
is
regularly.
Jushin Thunder Liger?
He's got to be
51.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
50s for
yeah,
sure.
so he's like Undertaker's age.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's insane. That guy deserves more respect, man.
Yeah.
That guy deserves more respect. Well, hey, hopefully him and Famous B pair up for a killer run.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want that to happen
Yeah.
so badly now.
Yeah, that'd be so
Oh my
great.
God.
And this is when, so now Jack,
No, sorry.
sorry.
For me, it is a happy memory.
And this is when Jack Evans and Drago's fight really on the outside starts, which really becomes this awesome subplot during the stuff going on.
Tossed down the stairs
Really?
and everything
Yeah.
really hard. Oh, no.
Yeah, it was hard. That's the part. And then number 14, the Mac. Even though the Moth had been eliminated, he hits a stunner on him. And he has this stand. This is my favorite moment of the whole thing. He has a standoff in the ring with, which I can't remember who it is. But while
Cage.
the two of them are caged, the two of them are, because of last Ultima Lucha, they had a really good match.
That's right.
And they kind of have this standoff. And then just in the background, you see Jack Evans just
Yes.
fall down the stairs, just tumble down the stairs. It just looks like a nasty bump.
Yeah.
And that's what I was loving.
That
the
was
chaos.
awesome. Yeah.
That was my
They didn't
favorite
even-
moment
yeah,
of the
It just
Aztec
happened in the background.
and it looked nasty.
Yeah, it was super
God.
nasty. Yeah, that's what it felt like. Yeah, it was total anarchy at that point.
Oh, that's great. What a great show.
I love the Mac. I'd never seen him
Oh,
before.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you saw, got to see some of his in-ring and how he was really...
stunners.
Yeah. He just acted like Stone Cold
Yeah.
after every, like, on his
Stunner
middle
party.
fingers up.
It's so
So
It's
funny.
so
He didn't get
cool.
to see as much of his facials until the end. He hit one really good facial after he had been eliminated.
I love how he has Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
He's got awkward movements too. He doesn't feel like a natural
I know.
athlete.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you should see. They got this other guy who didn't wrestle in this named Killshot, who's also just like this weird wobbly, like he's like a wrestler on stilts.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
love that.
strange, but he's super athletic. He can do all the flips and everything. Oh man, he's
The
wild.
Mac is cool.
Yeah, he was somewhat an early favorite for sure. 15, Chavo Guerrero Jr. At this point, I thought Drago and Jack Evans were stealing the show because they're still like going on. Yeah,
There's so many different fights going on at this point.
Yeah, and then Chavo comes in, goes right after Sagrada, gets his cheap heat early. Because that's what all he is. He's one note. He's a coward. That's what Chavo is. He's a coward.
Yeah.
He's one note, and that's why I think he's kind of dull. And then he throws the camel clutch on Sagrada to eliminate him. Although it's like a Guerrero. There's
The gory
vamp-
special.
Yeah,
That was the original move.
yeah.
Was that?
That's what Vampiro was saying.
Yeah.
And then we see 619 attempt number 3, miss. I can't remember who it was on. Oh, it was on Cage because after he missed, Johnny Mundo came back and hit the cinder block on Cage's face, block on his head, and Ty eliminated him.
Sorry guys, I'm just looking for the Mascara Sagrada's like history. He's 56.
Wow. Gets even older every time.
Oh my god.
Wait, this record shows he's 81.
He wrestled last on March 13th. Like he's just, I guess, Jesus.
Crazy.
Best 2 out of 3 falls versus a guy named he was wrestling with a
tag
guy named
match.
Golden Magic. Nice.
Yeah.
He's probably had a magnificent career in Mexico.
I'm sure.
Oh, let's just see what titles
Let's just have another podcast called the
Okay,
Mascara
he's-
Sagrada Tribute Show.
He's had Trios Championship, Lightweight Championship, Light Heavyweight Championship, Heavyweight Championship, IWC World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh
he
my
held
God.
that for
Lots of
301
titles. He's in all
days.
the-
IWC? Is that? Oh, no, I was thinking ICW for a second. I was losing.
Internet Wrestling Community World Heavyweight Championship. Mascara
Very
Sagrada. I wouldn't put it
prestigious
past him. I wouldn't put it past him. Okay. Anyways, let's get back to business here.
Yeah, so Johnny brings his cinder block back and smashes it on Cage's face, and Ty eliminates him. In comes PJ Black, and I love he goes right to the Jack Evans Drago melee, and then just like crazy tough bumps on the outside there. And Jack Evans' back, you got a quick shot of it there, just like nasty.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then Aerostar number 17.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
and
crowd
Matt Stryker went ooh.
The crowd loved it. The
Yeah.
crowd was chanting Aerostar before he even got into the ring.
Yeah, awesome.
He must be I have a feeling that him and Cage, in between the end of the first season of Lucha Underground and the beginning of filming the second one, there was that 8-month period, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think both of those guys, this is my theory just based on crowd reaction, that both of those guys got way over within AAA in that downtime, and now they're being booked on a slightly different angle.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my guess.
So Aerostar hit a sunset flip pile driver, and who was it who hit a... Oh, so yeah, they all 4 of them went into the ring, and it was PJ Black hit like a reverse kind of brainbuster on Drago at the same time. So the 2 of them hit these really cool finishers at the same time, and then they had the simultaneous pin on the 2 of them.
I love that.
So that's what I mean. Like that, this feud is going places, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, like between they can have tag matches, you can have guys. This could. I bet I wouldn't be surprised if the 4 of these guys are involved in something at Ultima Lucha. Mm-hmm. Like it could go that long. They've got enough.
Oh man, that's a long feud.
It's true,
man.
it's true.
It's a long feud.
But it's not. It's a shorter season, right? And they don't have to be on every episode.
That's true.
What about best of 5 tag matches?
Oh,
Would that be good?
yeah. I would love that.
Yeah.
I love their best of 5 in the first season.
Because they had Drago and Aerostar had a best of 5 in the first season.
I haven't got that
It was
far
great.
in the first
It
season.
was great. And it was just like that's why when he came to help him, it's like this respect. That's why these guys have got each other's back. And so here it is. Finally, the debut of number 18, Dragon Azteca Jr. Not only does the crowd not know about the vignette because he's been getting built up with Ray, like he's been training with him, like learning about his destiny and how he's from the 7 Aztec tribes, but also Vampiro and Stryker are not aware of any of this behind the scenes stuff that's happening, or that they're playing that they're not.
Right.
Yep.
So when he comes in, like they're just seeing this thin guy in green, the crowd is, who does have a nice debut and works there well because he had some really great spots when he came there. But also you heard Vampiro say right away, there's history behind this. This means like he's like so that was really, really cool.
Yeah, that is a super cool touch.
Yeah.
Do you think that's not real though, right? They're making that up for the...
Oh yeah. Like they're so that's them telling the story as though they don't know the story.
Oh, okay. It's a new kind of kayfabe.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes.
It is a new kind of kayfabe. Yeah, good.
Good. Yes.
Yeah.
Good observation.
I like that.
For me, it is a happy memory.
And then a nice, really reverse Rana to the outside, followed by another crazy spot. Like he came in and
he did a bunch of.
He did a lot of cool stuff,
Yeah.
for sure. And I think he left an impression. I thought that he was going to be a bigger deal. I expected him to be sort of like the counterbalance to Matanza at the end, but he wasn't even. I thought it would maybe it's going to come down to those two.
to some extent, it does. Because he's the only one. Oh man, we'll wait till we get to that Matanza because that was really interesting. That was really cool the way that all unfolded. So next is Tejano. He comes in and does his one high spot. Yep. He comes in and power bombs PJ. I find him pretty dull.
Who?
Not PJ Black. Tejano. Yeah.
Yeah, he's blind.
I love that bull rope. I love that whip scap.
That's the best thing
it's
about
a nice
him.
entrance.
Yeah.
Nice entrance.
We'll see where he goes next. He just needs to work with somebody new. Like if you're going to pair Tejano up with any one of these other wrestlers, or maybe not, maybe one of the many that didn't make it into this. Where do you slot him in next to make that you just think might be an interesting feud?
Tejano?
Yeah, Tejano versus who? What do you want? You want to explore that relationship?
Maybe to get Mascarita over, get him over Tejano, put him in that feud with Famous Bees. Like, come on, you can take this guy.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of what would be
he's
good
the
fodder
Triple H
for...
champion. You can take this guy.
Come on, right to the top.
You're 56 years old.
No messing around with any lesser guys. Straight to the chin.
That would be pretty funny.
So finally, number 20, Mil Muertes, as expected.
Yep.
Katrina looked statuesque as she walked down at this point. And right away, before you can even get to the ring, Pentagon Jr. with a chair to the spine.
I loved it.
And then a bunch of throat shots and throw him in for a double pin for Ray and Puma. So that's a good touch
to the wolves.
Yeah. And Katrina goes right away, is in shock, and she singles out Vamp. And then here's the probably the worst part of there being too much at one time, because then we start to get that new countdown, and while we're supposed to be seeing the significant storyline wise involving Katrina and Vampiro, we get maybe the second hugest pop of the night, our maybe 1 and 1A between Ray. Ray's went longer because that was huge, but this was huge because Dario Cueto has arrived and says, "This is my temple." How do we not have that? That's your next song.
I'll throw it. I should. I will.
Yeah.
And we need new stuff.
And
we need new stuff.
He introduces my brother, the monster, Matanzo Cueto, his full name.
I like that.
And Katrina looks shocked. They made a point of cutting to Katrina looking shocked. And this, I don't know if you've heard these rumors, Max, but a lot of people are thinking that she is Dario's mother.
Whoa.
Right?
Whoa.
Right?
Oh man, that would be really cool.
I don't know if you've heard before talk about. You see pictures of her in a sepia tone, like she's looking the same, and she's frozen in time.
She's immortal.
Oh my god, I hope that's true.
Something like that.
Oh my god, I hope that's true.
I do too. And I think if you watch again and look how they made a point of cutting to Katrina at that point and seeing it's a different kind of shock.
Yeah. I love the back-to-back Muertes getting pinned by surprise and then Cueto returning.
Yeah.
2 pops back-to-back.
Yeah.
And felt like, we're into the
Big
home
time.
stretch now.
Quickly, Matanzo, Mask. What do you guys think? Yes or no? Do you like it?
I don't mind the mask. I don't like the outfit. That's too much like a serial killer from the 80s.
But that's kind of this is the guy who was eating characters in the first season before we saw. This is the first time we've seen him. Well, we saw him. We saw him at the end of. We saw it was issue 297 of Amazing Spider-Man. You know how you kind of see Venom at the end of that, but his first full appearance
so
is in 298.
Right. Yeah.
So this was really his first full appearance.
Yeah. Also, he looked a lot like Abyss. If you know Abyss from TNA.
I'd heard about that. I don't know Abyss from TNA, but I heard some people.
That's my only complaint was the costume I didn't like.
Yeah.
The mask was fine, but
what did you think of the mask?
The mask, I liked. Yeah, I don't want to be disappointed. It just,
We're just talking about
he-
his look. 'Cause
Yeah,
I don't think,
it's
I don't
just
think
the
we
look.
were,
I think
we
everything
were-
else about him is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
The look. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved him. I just wanted him to be perfect, and it's the one missed note I think is just the costume. I hate to admit it. I don't want to admit it. That's why I'm struggling with my words because I don't want to admit it.
No,
It's
I
true.
get it. It's close. It's close.
Yeah.
Almost. And so right away they all go after him. And it's a little cartoony to start, the way he pushes everybody off. And I was like, kind of like, oh, boy. But then right away, big power slam to Barry Phoenix. And I like that. I like that choice.
was a
That it's
big
like, I got the
statement.
champ is
Yeah,
going to go
yeah.
after him
Yeah.
first.
Huge. No, the booking
Yeah.
of Matanza in this was awesome.
Awesome.
Oh my God.
Because then he hits an ugly German suplex to the Mac, who lands so badly on his neck.
Yeah, totally.
Oh my God. And he is eliminated. Thank God he rolled out of there.
God bless the Mac.
He destroys Aerostar mid-flight
Yeah.
into another pretty nasty-looking German.
Everything he did, he had a different finishing move for each guy.
Yeah.
That's fucking
And,
awesome.
power bomb on Tejano. And the way he's kind of like throwing them around into these moves, too. That's when Chavo corners Joey Ryan. And then you could hear Famous B say, "Don't get eaten, Joey," to Matanza. So I think that's the first time. You talked about a while before where they've been making things a little more clear over things. Because it's never really clear that Matanza ate people. But now we know it's in canon that he eats people. We had just kind of assumed for the blood splurts that came out when he'd get thrown into the cage. 3 strong gut wrenches to eliminate Joey Ryan after he like tears
Yeah,
it.
the rolling gut wrenches were awesome.
Yeah. And then Dragon Aztec. So this is what I thought with Dragon Aztec. He had every time he'd have a number of counters for everything, but it just wasn't strong enough. So I wanted for him to get something in almost kind of thing, but you could see that like, okay, this made sense storyline wise because this is what all he's been training for up to this point. Kind of thing.
Right.
But then eventually into like just a monster choke slam. A guy and Matanza is 5'9" and he hit a choke slam.
He's only 5'9".
Yeah. What? Yeah.
He wrestled
We're just
like
throwing
he
out
was
numbers that are freaking
6'5".
people out today.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you are.
And then Chavo talks to Dario to try to, because he's a coward, that's all. And then he gets thrown in. And what's his name? Matanza hits Puma's standing flip pin right there to show that this big man can do that as well. And it's down to Ray and Puma and Matanza. And Puma is in there for a while, and he's got really unique selling. I like Puma's selling is kind of like, God, it feels like it's
very emotive.
yeah, but not over the top. I don't think.
No, realistic.
And until he gets a fucking nasty German as well. And so it's Ray and Matanza remain, and the crowd is red hot. You get the chance, you get the thought that they really want to see Ray do this, and they think he can. And his like Ray is such a fucking pro at this chance. Like at this point, like forget about him just joining this, like taking a chance with this thing.
Yeah.
But what he was. I'd say other than Jack Evans, I'd say Rey Mysterio is probably the MVP of this. I think Jack Evans stole the show.
Yeah,
for Aztec
he
Warfare.
was great. But Ray was in there the whole way, and he didn't look like he'd missed a beat at all.
Yeah, we got a great look, a quick shot of the ref in fear here. It's a quick shot of him just kind of cowering in the corner.
Ref Marty Elias.
Yeah, he was really freaked out. And then Matt Stryker hits the Jebediah Springfield quote. What is it? A noble spirit embiggens the smallest man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so Ray goes for a 619 attempt once, is caught, and it slips out of the slam, tries again, and hits it, and tries to get looks like he tried to get a Hurricane Run on him, but Matanza's too strong, because he just tosses him around like 3 times, again into the power slam for the win. And nuts, right?
Yeah.
Like, so who's going to stop this guy?
Yeah.
Mil Muertes? Like, he didn't actually get to wrestle him. He was like the one big name who wasn't
At some
in there.
point, that'll be a huge clash of the Titans match.
Because I bet you they'll wrestle for control of the temple, and like those are their 2 champions.
Yeah.
The booking of this was actually magnificent.
Yeah.
It made a new star right in one night right
Yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
Ray looked great. You know, it was perfect booking for Ray to pass the torch to that moment.
I don't know. I don't know how to predict anything that's going to happen.
Because there's all these shades of gray. Remember we talked about, because we're super happy to see Dario again, but it's mostly just because he's a great character. He's not and he's an amazing actor, and
Yeah.
he makes all the.
I think the crowd got caught up in that as well, because when he first comes out, the place goes absolutely bananas.
Yeah.
It's like, yes,
Second
he's
biggest
back.
pop.
It was
But
the
then think
return
about-
pop,
Yeah,
but
but-
then they went back to booing him
Exactly.
out.
Yeah. As soon as Matanza won, I think Dario had been that hated since like the first episode. Like, oh man, it was awesome.
Yeah, everyone came off looking
Yeah.
great in this.
That's gonna be a great feeling. Come out and get the huge like and then like 10 minutes later, boom.
Yeah, that's
I'm
awesome.
doing this right.
At the
great.
palm of his hand.
Yeah, that's so good.
But so what I'm saying is, I think with like those shades of gray, we're going to see, hey, he's back now, but there's going to be some stuff that we don't like about Matanza, and I think eventually it's going to be like, well, maybe it would be better if Muertes had that belt again.
That's interesting. Do you think we'll see Matanza wrestle next week?
I wouldn't have him wrestle that
neither.
often, actually.
If you do, it's just a
Kinda like a
squash. It's just a
Brock
squash
Lesnar
match.
thing.
Yeah. It'd be nice if he starts to become like,
every couple months he comes back.
Anyways, man, we're
haunted by those
so
eyes.
over time. We gotta wrap it up. Thanks a lot to everybody for listening this week, and always, if you're looking for past episodes of Lucha Afterground, they're archived on YouTube. Just YouTube search for Lucha Underground, you'll find them. And you can follow us on Twitter. Just search for the podcast as well. You'll find it, hopefully. And that's about it.
Thanks a lot, Kelly.
Yeah, thanks a
Yeah.
lot, Kelly. Quick,
I had a blast, guys.
name one more. Give one of your podcasts that people who are listening to this should follow.
Okay, Titans of Wrestling. It's
Titans
the
of
original. Yeah.
Yeah.
80s WWF, early 80s.
On the Place to
Back
Be
when they
Nation.
were On the Place to Be Nation.
Hey,
baby.
who I don't know if you've noticed, but they are missing Lucha Underground after show on that Place to Be Nation.
Yeah. Oh, hey. Believe me, I have my eyes on you.
All right. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next week.
The question is, will you join us?